Welcome to Abundant Excursions. We understand that travel is more than just a destination, it's a once in a lifetime experience. We offer the perfect blend of luxury and adventure to create the ideal holiday getaway. From romantic beach escapes to exotic island retreats, we will work with you to find the trip that speaks to your heart. We specialize in romance and group travels. Planning a honeymoon, an individual or a group intimate celebration? We got you. What are you waiting for? Send us a message. Abundant Excursions, your luxurious access to the world.
Okay. Welcome again. I'm here today. My name is Angela. If you don't already know me, I'm with Abundant Excursions, Inc. And today we are going to present our fifth Lunch and Learn. If you guys haven't been with us, this is our fifth Lunch and Learn, and we will discuss Ireland. Today's presentation, as well as the ones previously, talked about our destination of the hour, what's the best location or the best time to travel to the destination, and all of those good things, and what you need to know about where to go, what to do, where to stay, and everything. So this is what we're going to learn about today. But before we get started, I want to talk about some housekeeping notes. At the end of the presentation, we will hold a question and answer for you. So if you have any questions that you would like to have answered, please feel free to drop them in the comments section. If you're on Facebook Live, if you are on Zoom, drop them in the Q&A piece of Zoom, and we will address those questions after the presentation. Okay? Now, without further ado, if you have not been on our previous Lunch and Learns, well, let me introduce you to Rose Schwartz. She is with Europe Express, and she has been with us now for from the initial beginning of our Lunch and Learns, as we talked about the various European countries. Rose is one of the business development managers at Europe Express. She is a first-generation American born in Chicago to German and Austrian immigrants, and a 28-year veteran of the travel industry with the bulk of knowledge of experience in foreign independent travel. Her passion for traveling has afforded her the opportunity to visit many locations worldwide, and most all of the countries in Western Europe, more than once or twice. So without further ado, I am happy to welcome Rose again to join us and talk to us about Ireland.
Hi, Angela. Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here, but I'm also kind of sad because this is my last one with you for at least for a little while. So
I know.
But we'll make it a good one. So let me go ahead, and I have to share my screen as well. So I just have to figure out which one I'm sharing so that we can get started here. You should be seeing my screen already.
Yep, see it.
It's the PowerPoint, right? Okay, you see the PowerPoint?
Yes.
I'm just going to stop my video so that I can look at my screen as well. As you all know, I have three different computers here, computer screens. So I need to make sure I'm focusing on the right one. But enough about my computer screens. We're going to go ahead and talk about Ireland. So hi and welcome again. As Angela said, I am Rose, and I'm going to be your guide today as we do discover independent European travel with Europe Express and really discover the Emerald Isle with its 40 shades of green. So today we are actually going to highlight a customized European travel itinerary through Europe Express. We'll virtually travel to Ireland on this itinerary that's going to include Dublin and Waterford, Cork and Killarney, the Ring of Kerry, Dingle, the Cliffs of Moher and Belfast. And as we go ahead and conclude, Angela and I are going to give you some tips on what you need to know before you go. We're going to provide you with Angela's contact information again. So let's go ahead and get started because we do have a lot of ground to cover today. So I'm just going to forward my screen. And for those of you who have been with us in the past, this is kind of a review, but please go ahead and take note. Europe Express is a tour operator that is based in the United States, and we work exclusively with Angela and travel advisors like her to help them to design extraordinary independent European vacations for you. And we focus specifically on 4 different areas. The first being customization, because you truly deserve a European adventure as unique as you are. No independent adventure should look the same as someone else's. Indulgent travel, it's all about private over shared sightseeing. It's pre-booked private transfers. It's those hotel room upgrades, the rail upgrades that really give you the most luxurious stays imaginable. And really after the year that we've had, or the 16 months that we've had, you really deserve to see the world in comfort and style. Now, discovery is one of the best ways for you to immerse yourself in history, culture, and cuisine of a destination, to really seek that authentic experience away from the crowds. And oftentimes this does mean traveling beyond the cities and exploring the hidden wonders of less frequented villages and landscapes. And then we have transformation or transformative travel. That's all about expanding our horizons, adopting new perspectives, focusing on our well-being, and embracing the extraordinary. I do want to mention that, we're not your typical motor coach company where hotels and sites and destinations are chosen for you. With Europe Express, you're on your own schedule and you decide just how, where, and when you want to travel. Now, Europe Express is truly a one-stop shop for independent European vacations for travel advisors. We have air contracts with all major carriers into and out of Europe. We do offer accommodations for every budget. So 3, 4, 5-star hotels, castles, villas, paradors, posadas, B&Bs, apartments, you name it. For sightseeing, we have over 600 sightseeing options, from basic hop-on, hop-off tours to fast-track entrances. We can arrange special interest tours such as beer and wine, history and culture. We do offer on the transfer side shared private and executive transfers, really to make sure you get safely from one point to another. The airport to the hotel, hotel to train station to cruise port, or really wherever it is you need to go. If you are looking to chart your own course through a destination and get behind the wheel of a car, we'll help Angela arrange a car rental. These can be round trip, one way, whatever you decide. And when you choose to vacation in Europe, odds are that you will travel by rail at some point during your stay. It is easy, quick, affordable, and scenic, not to mention eco-friendly, multi-generational, and I'm going to say it because I say it on every one of my webinars, a bit romantic. I'm going to ask that you discuss all of the destinations that you're interested in, your other interests as far as sightseeing, the type of air travel, the accommodations that fit your budget with Angela. And then Angela is going to work with our staff to secure your quote, to get you the best possible package pricing, and to book your European adventure. So you're probably asking, what are the benefits to me? Well, the benefits to you, Europe Express is an established tour operator with over 30 years of experience. And we have truly weathered the pandemic. So we are here for you and for your advisors, your travel advisors. Since our inception in 1990, we have worked exclusively with those travel advisors to assist them in creating completely customizable European adventures for individual travelers, your couples traveling together, maybe groups of 10 or more family and friends. Our US team is comprised of knowledgeable, passionate, and well-traveled reservation specialists. They have either lived, worked, studied, or traveled extensively in these countries throughout Europe. So they not only know the destinations, but they know our products inside and out. And our Barcelona operations office, they're there to assist in contracting our hand-selected products, using their relationships in the marketplace to really negotiate contracts directly with the thousands of local hotels, the activities and sightseeing and other services. And best of all for you, they assist in servicing our 24/7 hotline. So when you're traveling, you know that you're in the best of hands with Europe Express. We have people in that same Central European time zone to help if you need it. So we're going to start in Dublin today. And as we mentioned before, we're traveling to Ireland. Ireland is definitely one of my favorite places to go. It is the perfect country for self-drive itineraries, getting out of those larger cities and into its lush green countryside. Dublin is the capital and is the largest city of Ireland. Although it's worth visiting for a pint, its pub culture in the Temple Bar area, its shopping in Grafton Street, the Halfpenny Bridge, the Liffey River, which we see in this slide, a visit to what's called the Tart with the Cart. But Dublin is also more reverently known for Trinity College and the Book of Kells. So Ireland has more than 10,000 pubs. So you won't have to travel far to go for a drink. Pubs are really the melting pots of social encounters in which all social ranks come together. Ireland produces the best stouts and whiskeys in the world. And perhaps I'm just going to recommend, because it's not something that I'm going to touch on in the actual presentation, but if you're in Dublin, maybe you want to take part in a musical pub crawl in Temple Bar in Dublin. It is really a fantastic time where you go around to different pubs, do a little crawl, and they play music as we walk along with them. There are also 30,000 castles and castle ruins in the Emerald Isle, with the oldest dating back to the 11th century. There are actually 32 which can be visited by the touring public, and dotted throughout the country and countryside and near to the towns where it will feature today. So just to name a few of these castles, we have Blarney, Bunratty, Ashford, Malahide, Ross, in Kilkenny, Donegal, Dublin, and Belfast. And again, just a handful of castles. And here on this slide, we have Kylemore Abbey. So we'll make our way to Waterford. Waterford is Ireland's oldest city and home to the Waterford Crystal Factory. Waterford was founded in 914 AD by the Vikings, and parts of its ancient wall remain to this day. From Waterford, we make our way to Cork. Cork is Ireland's second largest city and known as the culinary capital of Ireland. So I'm going to tell you just to wear your loose clothing and come with an appetite, because for foodies, it's packed with great places to eat, cool pubs, and the vibrant English market, which takes its place among the very best of food markets in all of Europe. Now, while touring this area, a visit to Blarney Castle is a must. And while it's fabled that you will be awarded the gift of the gab if you kiss the Blarney Stone, I actually wouldn't recommend kissing the stone. But I do recommend that you take time to tour the castle and its lush grounds. Now, Killarney is a stop on the Ring of Kerry. It boasts a variety of outdoor activities for travelers of all ages. Killarney National Park was Ireland's first and oldest national park, established in 1932. Now there you can take a traditional jaunting car or horse and buggy, and it can be rented to traverse to popular routes such as the Muckross Abbey, the Torque Waterfall, the Gap of Dunlow, Ross Castle. Other activities here include hiking, cycling, open boat tours of Loch Lean, the Innisfallen Island, Lord Brandon's Cottage, and the Dinnis Peninsula. Now, the Dingle Peninsula is to the west of the town of Dingle. It takes about 4 to 6 hours to drive the ring, depending on the amount of stops that you make for tasty treats and photo opportunities. And although this is a shorter drive than the Ring of Kerry, it is just as beautiful and less crowded. The peninsula can be viewed by car and by boat, so make sure you do both when you're there. And we move to the Cliffs of Moher. So the rugged, wild, and striking, these Cliffs of Moher offer stunning views of coastline and sea. I'm going to say to forget the crowds and tour buses by visiting the Cliffs of Moher via Garen's Path. Here you can park your car at Garen's Farm, take a stroll along the path to the stunning cliff walk along the Cliffs of Moher, or what you can do is leave your car in either Hag's Head or Doolin and then walk to the cliffs. The pro tip here is to get away from the crowds, right? Walk north or south along the trail away from the visitor center. This is where most people congregate. So getting further from the visitor center will allow for physical distancing while you really awe at this stunning view. I'm going to say if you're wearing glasses or if you're wearing a hat, definitely take those off or hold on to them because the winds here can be very strong. We make our way to Belfast now. The history of Belfast as a settlement goes back to the Iron Age, but its status as a major urban center dates back to the 18th century. Now, Belfast is Northern Ireland's capital. It was the birthplace of the RMS Titanic, which famously struck an iceberg and sunk in 1912. The legacy of this is recalled in the renovated dockyards called the Titanic Quarter, which includes the Titanic Belfast, an aluminum-clad, easy for me to say, museum that is reminiscent of a ship's hull, as well as the shipbuilder Harlan and Wolff's drawing offices and the Titanic slipways, which now actually host open-air concerts. Known to the Irish as the eighth wonder of the world, the Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland is a result of an ancient volcanic fissure eruption that happened 6 million years ago. And this area of approximately 40,000 interlocking basalt columns is the result of this fissure. I'm going to suggest that you take a ride on the Giant's Causeway and Bushmills Railway from Bushmills to these famous stone columns. In this area as well, there is Carrick-a-Reid, and this is operated by the National Trust. The Carrick-a-Reid rope bridge offers really adrenaline pumping views from a rope bridge that connects the mainland of Ireland to Carrick-a-Reid Island. So you can see you can walk across this if you're willing to do that. I know that I'm not. So getting around, we talked a little bit about going to these places. How do you get around to them? Well, Ireland does have a national railway system, and it is possible to travel by train. I actually do recommend to rent a car to really get into the nooks and crannies of this amazing country and the landscapes. Now, with a car, you can stop for a quick tasty treat, that scenic photo op, or just enjoy the sheep that simply cross in front of you to find a new spot to graze. While driving on the left-hand side of the road can seem very daunting, Angela, through Europe Express, can help to secure an automatic car rental at the outer ring of a city so you can enjoy a more leisurely drive through the countryside. I do recommend that. I don't recommend renting a car, say, in the center of Dublin, but maybe out by the airport so that you can easily get out into the countryside. Now, keep in mind, we're going to talk just a little bit about Dublin as a base. So here I am going to talk about trains. Ireland is just about the size of South Carolina, so it's easy to also make Dublin a base while still venturing into the lush landscapes without the need for a car rental. So let's take a look at some of the Europe Express day trips from Dublin. And we did talk about the Cliffs of Moher, but on this one, we have the Cliffs of Moher, Bunratty Castle, and Burren. This is a journey where you'll board a train from Dublin's Euston station for the city of Cork, where you'll then board the coach to Limerick. And Limerick is the setting for the novel Angela's Ashes. The tour heads north to Bunratty Castle and a stop in Doolin for a pub lunch. The pub lunch is not included in the cost of the tour, but Doolin is regarded as the birthplace of traditional Irish music. So a stop and a pub lunch is really a special treat on this day trip. Now from Doolin, you can visit the Cliffs of Moher and Burren before heading to Galway for a return trip by train to Dublin. Our next excursion is the Giant's Causeway Glens of Antrim day trip, where you can again marvel at the natural phenomenon that is the Giant's Causeway, and you'll also have the chance to walk that rope bridge if you wanted to at Carrick-a-Reid before returning to Dublin by train from Belfast to Dublin's Conley train station. Now, Dublin has 2 train stations, just so that you're aware. There's also the Wicklow Mountain Range here that covers an area of over 50,000 acres of land in Wicklow, Dublin, Wexford, and Carlow counties. If you have ever watched the rom-com P.S. I Love You, a lot of it was filmed here in the Wicklow Mountains area. So on the Wicklow Mountains and Glendalough tour, you're going to enjoy Ireland's beautiful countryside, traveling the winding roads which lead you to Glenree Valley, Guinness Lakes, as well as Sally's Gap and Glendalough's Glacial Valley, and the renowned 6th century settlement of St. Kevin. This day trip does leave and return to Dublin city centre, where you can plan to conclude your evening with dinner in the city or stops in its various pubs for a few pints, maybe a bit of Irish crack. That's Gaelic for gossip and entertainment. So that's some suggestion there for you. In Dublin, we do recommend the Ashling Hotel. It's a wonderful 4-star property located within just 4 minutes walk to the Phoenix Park, 13 minutes to the Guinness Storehouse, where you can have a taste of Guinness and tour the factory, 15 minutes to the Dublin Zoo. I just want you to keep in mind that Dublin is a very walkable city, so everything is pretty close. And if not, they do have great public transportation. This hotel does offer 226 rooms with coffee makers, complimentary bottled water, complimentary newspaper. Property is smoke-free. It does offer 24/7 front desk, free Wi-Fi. There's a restaurant and bar on site, and this hotel does offer limited accessibility. So when you're booking with Angela, just make sure to tell her that you need that, and she will request it at time of booking. Now, cleaning and safety practices are in effect at this property. It's always good to know, especially during the times that we are going through right now. Now, before I conclude, I did want to bring in just a little bit of history and heritage travel, ancestry and heritage travel. So as North Americans, we live in one of the world's great melting pots with neighbors and communities of diverse backgrounds. We truly often wonder about our past. Who are we? Where did our stories begin? And who would have thought that a simple TV show more than a couple of years ago, such as the Who Do You Think You Are, has really created a movement and a desire to dig into our heritage, sparking trips to destinations across the world, really. Interest in our genealogy has exploded. So maybe you identify as Italian because of the meatballs your nana used to make for Sunday supper, or German, like me, because of the lullabies my Oma used to sing to me when I was little. But how much do you really know about the places your ancestors once called home? People are discovering that it's important to know where they're from in order to know where they're going. And this is the trend for multi-gen and family travel. So did you know that 1 in every 9 Americans can trace their heritage back to Ireland? Yep. So after a pint at the pub and a walk through the cobblestone streets of James Joyce's Dublin, it's time to head to Epic Ireland within Dublin city centre. This is Ireland's emigration centre, and here you can gain a better understanding of Ireland, the Irish, and their contribution to the world as they emigrated from Ireland. In between sightseeing, you can have plenty of time for genealogical research. With your rental car, you can explore the tucked away hamlets where maybe your family once lived. In towns like Adair and Shannon, you can visit Catholic parishes and gain access to county records. You can search for the names of your relatives at the cemeteries of local churches, or look up marriage certificates in town halls. So this is truly a trend that we're seeing pick up through 2021 and 2022. So what should you know before you go? Well, we talked about kind of 3 things in our past webinars that you need to really think about before you go. One is combining regions. And while it's great to integrate various cities and regions into a customized independent European itinerary, please check to make sure that you're allowing yourself ample time to enjoy, relax, and immerse yourself. Now, Angela is also going to help you with this because she's an expert. So she'll let you know if you're not spending enough time somewhere or if you're really cutting your time too short. Now, everyone always asks when to go. Well, most of the tours that I mentioned operate year-round, and Angela is going to check with us for blackout dates. But that does bring me to point number 3, which is booking early. The cities and sites highlighted in this presentation are top cultural, historical, and culinary getaways for travelers, not only from the US and North America, but from really around the world. So it's understandable that flights, hotels, and sightseeing options can get full in advance. Now, we are also seeing a little bit of a slow return to normal with flight lift, the hotels opening back up. So that space is going to become premium. If you're traveling, May through September is peak season. So if you're planning your trip then, we recommend to book at least 6 months in advance for the best availability and options. And like I said, because of pent-up demand due to restrictions on international travel in 2020 and now a little bit in 2021, we are already though receiving multiple requests each day from advisors across North America for their clients for travel in 21 and 2022. So if you're thinking of going, please start working with Angela today. All we can do, if you don't need, if you need some time to think about putting down deposits and paying, that's not a problem. We can certainly work with Angela and work with you on that. Now, because of that pent up demand, I want you to also note that 2022 is going to be a banner year in Europe. There are 2 festivals that are held every 10 years that are going to fall into 2022. The Floriade in Amsterdam, Holland, and the Passion Play in Oberammergau, Germany. Now, these run concurrently from April through October, and visitors who travel to these festivals will incorporate more of Europe than just that little area of the fest into their itineraries. Now, along with all the other annual festivals, I'm going to name a few as I always do: the Oktoberfest in Munich, Salzburg's Harvest Fest, Christmas markets in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, the UK, France, Croatia, and more. There's Bastille Day in France, Edinburgh's Military Tattoo, the Running of the Bulls in Pamplona, Spain. There will be pilgrimages to towns such as Lourdes in France, Assisi in Italy, Santiago de Compostela in Spain. If you're into it, there are Ibiza closing parties. And just like I said, be sure if you're thinking of traveling to Europe, either the remainder of this year or into 2022, really start working with Angela today. And while there's so many corners of Ireland and Europe to explore, this does wind down our suggested itinerary. But remember that your customized European adventure is only limited by your imagination and your budget. Definitely call Angela to start a conversation on your next independent European vacation. And with that, I just want to thank you again for taking the time to learn about Europe Express, the diverse product that we offer, how we can help you and Angela to design your independent European adventures. And I did just want to take a second before I show my screen again. Angela, I just want to thank you again for inviting me to host our entire series of Lunch and Learn webinars, and for you and for your clients over these last few months. I really, truly did enjoy myself. I hope that your audience did as well, and inspired some of them to really think about traveling to Europe. So at this time, I'm going to stop sharing so that I can show my face.
No problem. Well, thank you so much. I enjoyed that presentation for sure about Ireland. The walk, what was it? The
Carica Reed rope bridge.
Yes.
I can't say it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have done that at all.
Oh no. Yeah.
That wouldn't have been an option. I would have had to have another way to get to the other side.
Right. I'd swim. I'd swim before that, to be quite honest. Yeah. I would swim across.
Yeah.
And then take that rope bridge.
Yeah, wouldn't do that at all.
But
I was looking through Facebook as well as Zoom, and I don't see any questions regarding Ireland. But I know that hopefully there will be some. If there's some later, I'll reach out to you later and ask if there's something I can't answer. But at this time, we don't. But I do want to thank you for sure for participating or agreeing to participating with me in the first launch of the Lunch and Learn as we talk about the various European countries. It has been a blast. It's been so much fun learning about these various countries. And I know those who are in the group have enjoyed it as well. And it's very exciting in learning about it. So I appreciate you. And I thank you for taking up the time to do it. I know it was a lot of work for you to do. And I appreciate the effort that you did in doing so.
It was fun. It was fun. Like I'm all about travel. I think I said it in another webinar. I'm always planning my next trip. Always planning my next trip, no matter if it is to Europe or to Asia or Africa, wherever. I'm always planning my next trip. And if I can just impart some of what I've learned and where I've been and inspire someone else to go, I've done my job.
Right. Very true.
That's what I like to do.
Very true. And for those who have not even had an idea of or thought of even going to any of these destinations, my goal as well as Rosa's goal is we hope that these are destinations that you want to put on your travel bucket list. That is someplace that you never thought about, but then all of a sudden you saw the presentation, you're like, oh, I think I wanna, this is a destination that I want to travel in the near future. So we hope that these presentations did inspire you to do so. And with that, I do want to say that I will be sending out a survey just because I want to get some insight from you as well as those who participated in the series to get an idea as to your thoughts on it, what worked, what didn't work, and things of that nature. So if you could please fill out that survey, there will be a special incentive for you to do so. So you will receive that I'll have that, it'll be shared for you tomorrow morning. It'll be available for you tomorrow morning to do that. So if you could fill out that survey, I will greatly appreciate it. And with that, thank you guys. You guys have a great summer because this is the last of the Lunch and Learn until the fall. So we're going to take a summer break. We'll be back in the fall. I'll be back in the fall, I should say. Be back in the fall with some other destinations for you to explore and to learn more about. And with that, have a great summer. See you guys. I'll see you guys in the group, but see you guys for Lunch and Learn in the fall. Okay. Have a great rest of the day and take care. Bye-bye, you guys.